All right, we're out here where it all began. Yes, 3B's Technologies, 130 Darbon Lane, supposedly has 27 H-1B visa workers. Curiously, an empty house. And we have got some really exciting news. I've got a special guest, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. What is the big announcement, sir?
First of all, thanks to you, we're here today. We've started an investigation of 3 different companies that we think might be scamming people with these H-1B visas. And so thanks to you, we've sent them questionnaires. They're called civil investigative demands, and they're designed to find out what the truth is. What is actually happening? What are their actual practices? Are they defrauding consumers? Are they misguiding people as to what they're actually doing? And that's what we're going to get to the bottom of and find out. If they're doing something wrong, they potentially could lose their ability to operate in Texas and have to pay a lot of money back to the state of Texas.
So if you're a scammer, this guy's coming for you. He's coming for you. All right, it's cold out here. Let's go. Continue in the studio.
That sounds great.
All right, let's go.
All right.
I am here in studio with Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who has, of course, just announced that his office is going to be investigating some of these peculiar H-1B companies that we've been exposing. They look completely scammy, if I'm being honest. And now you guys are going to go in there and expose them if they're committing fraud.
Yeah, so we've started the investigation. Thanks to you for highlighting this and making this known to us, and I guess going viral with this. I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be busy looking at, what they're actually doing. So we'll ask them lots of questions. They're called civil investigative demands. It's like interrogatories in litigation, basically just questions, and find out what's really going on and seeing if they're acting appropriately.
I have to tell you, from our digging that we've done, you're going to need a lot of manpower on this. I don't even know if your office really knows what they're getting into, because I keep giving the analogy, it's like an onion. We just keep pulling every layer back that we pull. It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to get a redirect to addresses that don't actually exist, or remote working locations where there is nobody there. I really, truly believe that you guys have the ability to transform our state just by doing basic due diligence that has not been done at the federal level.
The good thing is we have a lot of practice doing things just like this. We've gone after a lot of companies that are defrauding our consumers,
and been very successful.
Yeah, so we know we've had experience doing this. So it's not our first rodeo, and we will definitely find out what's going on. And that's really what the people of Texas want to know. What's the truth? What's really going on? Are these companies acting in the way they're supposed to? Are they violating federal or state law? Are they deceiving consumers? Mm-hmm. Those are reasonable questions to ask. And look, if they're not, they'll be fine. If they are, then we'll probably end up in litigation with them.
Yeah, I just briefly, I'll mention Governor Abbott, who I don't personally always agree with, has suddenly taken action to suspend visas for certain state institutions. But as the Attorney General, you do have the power to go after private businesses who are abusing our laws and committing fraud. And so, what tools do you actually have? You've got the misrepresentation,
yep,
right? You can, if they are found to be doing that, then you can revoke their business license? What happens?
So we could certainly ask that be done. We don't actually revoke it, but
okay,
a judge would if we were successful. And also deceptive trade practice, if we could show that they have deceived consumers and show what the damages are, we get treble damages. So those numbers can add up fast, and it starts creating disincentives for so-called businesses to deceive consumers. I've had certain business interests who say we shouldn't have that power in Texas, but the problem then, if that was true, then no one would be able to stop these companies, because they'd have no downside in pursuing fraud, because if all you could ever get was restitution, the state has to have a mechanism to protect consumers, because consumers on average don't have the ability to go sue these companies.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
But you can, and you will. I'm told that a lot of Indian scammers, or Chinese scammers, or whoever the scammers are, that they're watching what I'm doing. They're very scared. They're sending WhatsApp messages. I'm told they're in all these groups and they're sending WhatsApp messages. And so I would imagine that there's a high likelihood that they may be watching this right now. And I'd like to know if you have any message for any of these scammers who are scamming Texans. What would you like to tell them?
Well, first of all, I'd say stop. I mean, you can always quit doing bad things, right? And then damages are less. Because we're going to find out what the truth is. And certainly other people, if there are other companies doing this, which I would guess there are, if they are violating our laws or deceiving consumers, we're going to find out. I mean, word of mouth, we end up finding out, people complain, they follow you, and then it gets spread around. As I said, I think you've pretty much gone viral on this. And so a lot of people are going to know about this. Yeah. So one, I'd encourage, stop. If you're scamming people, stop doing it. Stop lying to people and operate a legitimate business.
Yeah, we've seen, with regard to the H-1B, we've seen in Texas in 2025, there were, 41,000, almost 42,000 beneficiaries approved for H-1Bs. And the top 10 companies, we've got it listed on the screen here, Cognizant, Infosys, Oracle, Cognizant, again, I'm not sure why, Tesla, Charles Schwab, AT&T, KPMG. And just in these top 10 companies, that's like 12,000, almost 13,000 jobs taken away from Americans, but taken away from Texans. So I'm just saying, I think the state of Texas is ready for a change. I think the state of Texas is going to be behind you on this, because I have gotten so many emails on our tip email that we've set up. And these people, these Texans, are like, literally, I kid you not, there are so many of them that start with the subject line, something along the lines of, H-1B ruined my life, because there are all of these displaced IT workers who are like, I'm white and I can't get a job in the sector that I specialize in because of this visa and because of the abuse and the fraud happening.
Yeah, I think the intention was to bring in highly skilled workers that we didn't have in our country.
Exactly
we were
right.
Missing, like, to help us move our economy along and create wealth for other people. But the reality is, it seems like the H-1B program is now, it's been twisted and it's being used to replace American workers. I can guarantee that was not the intent.
Exactly.
I don't think it was the intent.
No.
And so I think Congress has to revisit this and figure out, okay, how do we get the workers we don't have, the really high skilled people that maybe can take us to the next level and actually create jobs, not take jobs. It's doing just the opposite of what it was intended to do.
Yeah, it's certainly not become America First policy. But good news, I know a guy who's running for Senate who I think would be perfect at making sure that all of these, programs are America First.
It's certainly something I'm going to be focused on, because who has been focused on? I mean, I've heard of one senator from Missouri, a friend of mine, who happened to be the Attorney General before of Missouri, and I worked with him on a lot of cases. He's asking those questions, but I mean, our current senator that I'm running against he's not asking those questions, nor has he ever asked them. So he's been all about open borders, and now he's suddenly not for that. But he's criticized border walls. He's voted for amnesty. He's promoted amnesty type things. So I'm going to be the antithesis, the opposite of him in these types of matters.
And how are things going? How's the campaign going?
Quite well. I mean, we've discussed the funding issues, how
Yes.
incumbents can raise, unlimited money, spend almost, $50 million.
It's so rigged, man.
It is so rigged. But here's the reality. He's still behind. He's in the 20s. In the polling. And if Texans will get out and vote, we have early voting in 3 weeks and the election on March 3rd, we can replace a guy that's been there he's been in office for over 40 years.
It feels like 150.
I know. And I've asked this question, what has he accomplished that's good? I'm not talking about the negative things, the Robin Hood that he created for Texas when he was on the court. I'm not talking about restricting our Second Amendment rights, which he did with Joe Biden. I'm not talking about resettling Afghans over here, which he also helped Joe Biden do. I'm talking about good things. What has he accomplished? And the reality is, when I've talked to Texans, I never get an answer to that question. Mm-hmm. So why do we let him keep going back if he doesn't accomplish good things for the state of Texas? He is not accomplishing good things. He talks about it. He fakes it. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, John Cornyn is all about Washington, not Texas.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think Texans are ready for a change. And I would encourage everyone to go to the ballot box, go vote for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who I'm really going to miss you. I'll come visit you in D.C.
I'm going to be back every week.
Okay, all right, fine.
I'll just stop here because the airport's close.
Yeah, great, good. Maybe we can get the heat working for you before
Nice.
you arrive. Tell everyone where they can go. Again, you mentioned it's really, really difficult when you are not the incumbent who is allowed all of these loopholes to raise way more money. So where can people go to support you? Because remember, you don't have to live in Texas to care about this. This is a senator who we need in the Senate to vote America First.
Yeah, and I'm going to be voting I'm voting for Texas, but if I'm voting conservatively, I'm voting for you wherever you live. So
Exactly.
You have the opportunity to replace a liberal, moderate to liberal senator who doesn't represent us, doesn't vote the right way, with me, and you can do that at kenpaxton.com, and any contribution is good, because We just need more people contributing because they have big money coming in from DC.
Yeah. Just go do it. Go donate. We don't need a runoff. We don't need to waste his time. Okay. Make sure, go to kenpaxton.com, help him out there.